Welcome back to So You Think You Know Wine, the world's most exhilarating and brutal sport. Today's wine is a Frescobaldi Nippozano Chianti Rafina Reserva, also known as the Warrior's Wine. During Attila the Hun's reign, this wine was drank by only the mightiest warriors. Now, we have three warriors of our own. Three of our wine athletes will compete to identify this wine without seeing the bottle. A Herculean, grueling, and maybe even cruel task. But these are three trained professionals who have dedicated their lives to smelling, swishing, swallowing, and even ejaculating fermented grape juice. So don't try and emulate anything you see unfold here on the battlefield.
Thank you, Steve.
She may be saying thank you, but that was a very shitty pour, not nearly enough wine. Go fuck yourself, Steve. John's wasting no time.
It's red, we know that, right, Steve?
It's not
Our wine judge has cracked what is known as a joke in the wine tasting community. She has given all of them a hoot.
Pinot Noir, so...
Certainly some Bordeaux characteristics. However, I'd like to point out the color. Look how it's turned sort of garnet. It's no longer purplish red. It looks like an aged wine.
It seems John has a hunch. He's already demonstrating why he's the master sommelier at this table. That's not an easy title to earn. He's really flexing his girthy wiener right now. He's right away noticing the subtle differences in color, but will he be able to identify the asphalt that we've snuck into his glass?
I have to say 6 or 7 years old, or a grape variety that turns brownish red early on in its development. I think there could be some Tuscan element.
Superb work from John. They don't call him the fucking Sherlock Holmes of wine for nothing. Truly splendid.
That jumped out at me the most was Merlot.
Sarah has correctly identified the hint of Merlot in this glass. The Merlot gives this glass just a little delicate aggression on the taste buds, and she has not even needed to taste the wine yet in order to identify it. However, she is just a sommelier, not a master sommelier like John over there. The difference between the two is enormous. If you were to ever confuse a master sommelier and a sommelier, you would most certainly be killed on the spot, so please never make that fucking rookie mistake. But Sarah has really stepped up to the plate today. She came in here as the underdog, and she has already identified the Merlot. But can she pull through and be the victor of this competition? We're not sure yet. We'll have to let it continue.
Particularly because of the nose and the color.
And what do you think of the color? John was mentioning that it's more of a garnet now.
It seems our wine judge here is playing a little dirty, trying to throw them off the trail by mentioning Kevin Garnett. Let's see if they're going to fall victim to this very clever ploy.
I agree there's some age on it. It's not a youthful wine, but again, I'm not sure it's as old as he thinks it might be.
Ooh, that was a devastating blow from George Zimmer of Men's Warehouse, poking holes in John's hypothesis. However, I don't think John's going to let it go to his head. His olfactory sense is second to none in this business.
I'm going to throw in one other possibility here, just to up the stakes a little bit.
Oh shit, he's up in the stakes.
Paler color, and considering the plummy fruit and the abundance of wood.
Wood? Where's the wood?
Tempranillo.
Yes, but it's a possibility. The wood would probably be American.
Why is this conversation devolved into wood?
Agreed, but there's a lot of new wave Spanish wines that are made with European wood, French wood.
He has fantastic wine twirling technique. However, I do believe he's barking up the wrong tree with his wood train of thought. He's going to need to get off of that if he's going to want to identify this wine correctly.
The one thing about Merlot in the Old World, and if we are going to agree that this is an Old World wine.
For the uninformed, I'll shed some light on this. When talking about Old World wine, what they're referring to is wine that existed before Godzilla was made. So wine that existed prior to Godzilla hitting the theater is considered an Old World wine, whereas wine that was made after Godzilla's theatrical run is considered a New World wine, or a modern wine, or dope freshness, or swagadelic sauce, depending on where you're located. It goes by many different names, however, those are the two distinctions between wine dates.
There aren't a lot of places that do a single varietal Merlot. It's generally as a blend, and it's not found often.
Good point, D'Amato.
Ooh, John immediately interrupting her. That's an interesting strategy.
Yes,
Down
that's
in
the
the
only...
midi, then Merlot is bottled separately.
I'm not on a Merlot trail here.
Well, then you're on the wrong trail, John. You fucking wood conspiracy theorist.
I'm back in Italy. Color matches there, this garnet shade. It's a little darker than traditional style, but this is not a traditional wine. I think it's been made in a slightly modern style with, in my view, a little bit too much wood.
John immediately back to the wood nonsense. Actually, you know what? Fuck it. I'll go ahead and let the cat out of the wine bag here. John is absolutely right. That's not even wine in front of him. That's not wine in that glass. What we did is we melted sawdust down to liquid form and then poured some beaver blood on top of it for color. John was able to sniff it out immediately. It was like fucking Scooby-Doo on a mystery. That is why that man is a master sommelier.
Sweetened it up with that vanilla, but that red fruit, slightly tarry, Your Merlot dust is my Nebbiolo dust. The
Sure, yeah.
firmness of it.
Damn, he's a true professional. He already mentioned the firmness. This wine is not only the firmest wine in existence, it's got a heaviness that's so light even a baby's nibbles can pick it up.
Have the grape variety.
So, is it Italy or Spain?
You smug, pretentious douche popsicle. The Dos Equis most interesting man in the world's trying to strong-arm information out of our judge right now.
If I give you that, do you think you'll get the variety?
We might do, yes.
Yes.
It's an Italian wine.
It's Italian wine.
Sangiovese.
Oh my goodness. The fucking wine hound over here immediately gets it.
Level of acidity.
Here's my guess.
Yeah.
Sangiovese with Merlot in it. I bet you this is Chianti Classico, and they
Yeah.
haven't declared that there's 20% Merlot.
Yeah.
And vintage, we wouldn't see anything earlier than 2007.
He's cheating. He's
It's
cheating.
Chianti as well now. Now, in terms of Italian, because I always think that Rioja Tempranillo from Spain and Chianti Sangiovese from Italy are very similar wines.
What the fuck are you talking about, you senile old man?
Same role in those people's cultures and their food. And so I thought it was Tempranillo Spain. I can easily be talked into every time it's Italian that it's
Somebody please remove this Bond villain from the table. He's off his rocker.
Beginning, if there is a bit that's blended in here, and often is in this region, so I think that's a good guess, guys.
Now the reveal.
Yeah.
You did much better that time. So it is a Chianti.
Niposano.
Yes.
Yes.
And it is a 2007.
Yeah, and there is Merlot in it. So
That's
there
a
you
good
go.
value. It's
Yeah.
Fresco, yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, stylistically, I think we're actually quite close. As
Yeah,
you pointed
I
out,
think
these
that-
are all in the same sort of hemisphere of wine styles.
Yeah, whatever you want to tell yourself before you go to sleep, pussy fart. Point is, none of you got it. You're all losers. Please leave this table. You've disgraced wine tasting as a community. Just remove your ass cheeks from this battlefield, all of you. And you call yourselves masters, sommeliers, and wine educators. Not even one of you said a single word about the brutal, violent generosity of the fumes of the wine as it entered your nostrils and embraced them with an ethereal taste of serenity, love, and aggression. None of you said anything about that. And how do you ever think you could have identified this wine without being able to sense those smells? How you passed your sommelier test is beyond me, but you don't deserve that title. Thank you for joining us on this episode of So You Think You Know Wine. Obviously, they did not know wine. Not at all. These fucking Neanderthals had no clue. And I'm sorry.